Colby, do you smell that?
Yes, Barry. Yes, I do.
Oh my gosh. You can smell them. They come to our dimension and fart. It's not a quote from this movie, but it's a parody.
Somebody out there was like, "Oh, what movie's that from? I know that."
What's going on, guys? My name is Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. Welcome to the second week of Creature Features from a Different Dimension. Ish. Very loose on the different dimension part. But welcome to the second movie. Man, I'm hoping you guys are enjoying delving into these, was it cosmic or Lovecraftian type of things without being a Lovecraft month.
Yep.
But before we get into actually talking about the movie, we got to give you guys our little ditty, our little rhyme fest. There you go.
What?
I'm gonna say, me and Kobe have two very varying views on this movie. So the rhyme fest for today was a little uninspired. But let's go. Ryan came up with a time machine. He was so proud of it, along with his team. But curious minds should be aware that there's always lurkers out there. If he goes on long without being checked, and without the formulas being correct, let's find out the disastrous results in 2020's Intersect. This was uninspired. I felt so uninspired writing this. But today we're going to be talking about the 2020 straight-to-streaming movie, Intersect. A lot of people are going to be like, I've never heard of that movie. Well, not surprised. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just, it is a... How would you classify this? Like, it's almost like a sci-fi movie, which isn't bad.
Oh, no, it's definitely a sci-fi movie.
Is it?
But it is a time travel / cosmic horror movie.
Yeah, and like Wiki has it as a thriller film, which it's a sci-fi. Oh, it came out in a Boston Sci-Fi Film Festival and all that stuff. So,
and it has a fantastic movie poster.
Oh, the movie poster is the catfish for me.
Yeah.
Because
like,
it looks
the movie
so cool.
poster's so good, I would, if I had like a movie room, I would like get this poster and hang it.
Oh yeah, and then like everyone's like, I've never seen that movie, and you're like, you've never seen this movie?
What?
Oh my! Well, I have a treat for you. But this movie isn't starring anyone too famous or anyone famous as far as like I can tell.
So it's really weird because this movie first starts and I didn't look at the dates, I guess the date didn't recognize in my head. And I totally thought the third friend was Dunlap, whatever, the guy from Creep.
Oh yeah, Chris Duplass. Yeah, he has
Dunlap. Sorry,
he has the same facial.
And it was
features.
And then it was like, it's not. But then I had is it maybe like a relative? It's not.
It's funny because we're on his IMDb page right now, and he is like a mix of three actors. So Mark Duplass.
Yeah.
The actor who plays Jim Hopper.
Okay.
And the little person from Game of Thrones.
Dinklage?
Yeah. What's his name?
Peter Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage, yeah. Like, if you look at his, like, photos, like, the second photo looks like Peter Dinklage's, like, younger, older brother.
Yes, I can totally see that.
But then, like, in other things, in, like, his fourth one, or the third one, he looks like Jim Hopper.
Yeah.
And then when he smiles, he kind of looks like Mark Duplass.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, like it's not. Yeah, there's nothing. No one really. Is there anyone that stands out to you? Because they might have just like actors
The
from the '80s or something.
James Morrison. He was the professor.
Yeah.
I believe I am familiar with him.
Oh well, he was in. I think he's. Oh, he was in Twin Peaks.
Okay.
And that's probably where your like memories clocking it, unless you're a huge 24 fan.
I've seen some 24.
Yeah, you've talked about it. You're like, there's no way that this all takes place in a day.
that was the first movie that I was, or the first series that I was like, let's rent it and just watch it. Like
You're just like, no way.
Oh, that's so unbelievable when you watch it back to back. This is the most unlucky man in the world.
But no, James Morrison probably has, I think, the biggest body of work. He's like in his 60s, so he's.
He was even in Captain Marvel.
Yeah, so he's done
so
a lot of work.
I recognized him.
Yeah, but he's like he would be in that documentary, like actors but don't know their name, or I forgot what that documentary was called.
Yep.
But yeah, this movie is going to be. We're gonna have to do today's episode a little bit different, just because this movie hops all over the place.
It does. Once it ends, you realize that it runs very streamlined to like how it's like Memento.
Yeah. Man, that's not
like Memento. Like once the movie's done, you're like, oh, that totally makes sense. That's exactly how you had to play that movie.
Yeah.
And that was how this one was too. But yes, it feels all over the place halfway through.
And this movie is pretty long.
It is. It's almost a full 2 hours, right?
Yeah, it's 2 hours, and I feel like for a movie like this, especially for indie film, I feel like that might be a little bit too long. And before, like, I don't want to really. I'll talk about this at the end, but I feel like you have to either cut time and restructure it to make it flow a little bit better, because at a certain point, halfway through this movie, I was like, what's going on? So I want to talk about this more in line with like how, like, I'm going to try to put this in my mind in the greatest chronological order way that I can. So I'm actually going to talk about this movie almost in reverse.
Okay. Yep.
And this is probably how I would have restructured this movie, right? But I do like the beginning. They opened up Daredevil style, Ben Affleck Daredevil style.
Yes,
we're starting at the actual end of the movie, where our character Ryan, who is our main character, he is in the midst of an explosion. Yeah, sort of, right? He's holding a woman that we don't know who is yet, but we can kind of like, oh, that's his lover or his girlfriend or whatever. Right. But he's in the middle, or like sort of in this blast zone of like black goop and all that stuff, and he's holding a pendant that we do see a little flashback of his girlfriend giving it to him. Yeah. And all this stuff, and then the movie sort of like cuts away from this. Like, what, I forgot what it did. Does it like zoom into his eye or something like that?
Something like that. Yeah.
Or like there's like
flickers in his eyes or something. Because then it almost seems like it goes to a flashback, but it makes it feel like it was the original part was a dream. Yeah. To kind of confuse you, so you're not like, how's the end of the movie?
Yeah. But this is how I'm gonna do it, the way that I probably would have done, like restructured this movie, right? And so I'm gonna start with we go back to the first time that they're experimenting. They're in a smaller lab, but they have this device. It's a smaller device, but you could tell it's like some sort of portal or gateway.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So when it's sideways.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna like, I'm gonna restructure this movie, and you've been like, maybe that would have been better. But as they're clickety clacking away, all these scientists, all of a sudden, this portal-like thing starts to open up on this device. Yeah. And this is where we get the first like hip hip hooray about opening the possibilities of time travel.
Right.
And this is what these scientists are doing. And in the midst of their celebration, the older gentleman, Bill Marshall, it, all of a sudden has a heart attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the excitement. Yeah, I guess there's two ways that you can go out, right? Like one on top of a prostitute, or happily go out. But he pulls Ryan in, and he's like, you have to finish, because this has been his like goal.
Right. Yes.
And we get a sense that these three other scientists, the older ones, have a more deeper connection with Bill. And all that stuff, and all of a sudden you get like a little pan to a photo of three children, and Bill.
Yeah.
And so this is where sort of we get a little glimpse of their younger lives, and Ryan is a little bit more of a troubled kid. There's a strained relationship with his mother, and there seems to be something that's being hidden from us as the viewers, that we can kind of tell, like, oh, what's going on? Like, why is his family life kind of bad?
Right, and you never see his dad. So just it seems very plausible that the reason is something happened to his dad. There was an accident. Something.
Yeah, something happens, and he's getting severely bullied at school.
Yeah.
Until one day, I was like, oh, this kid's super American. He pulls out a gun. After getting severely bullied, but before he can make one of the most fatal mistakes in your life.
Yep.
Bill comes, and he sees that the kid has a gun.
Right.
And but he notices the kid is running away from something, and he's like, oh, you see them too. And it's like these, almost like, I don't know, how would you describe them, like spider-like beings?
Yeah, it's kind of like almost Venom-like.
Yeah, like symbiotes.
Yeah,
and all that stuff. And he's like, oh, well, they're just surveyors. They pop into our plane of existence once in a while to just check out how things are going. And
right.
And then so like he walks Ryan home, and he talks to the mother, and the mother is sort of like pretty combative, but then Bill is like super understanding. He has a very calming aura to him, and he's like, well, I am a teacher at Miskatonic University, and I have a class for troubled children. And then so he offers to bring them there. And this is where we get introduced to Nate and Caitlin.
Right, yeah.
Who is like his like lab partners. And Nate's pretty friendly. He's like, oh yeah, he's like telling them all these things that they're doing. And Caitlin she's like, oh man, Fallout Boy haircut,
Yeah, it's all about that hair.
Yeah, Nate looked like sort of like the straight laced kid. Yeah. he doesn't look, he's like buzz cut and everything, and
right,
he's like the cooler nerd.
Yeah. But he's like the one who's like good attitude, but then like if you cross him, he just punch you.
Yeah, like he's the nerd that's not afraid to fight back.
Yeah.
And so we get a slight intro, and after that we go back forward into time, where they're still continuing on the research from Bill, and they're like, oh my gosh, I think we're able to send these non-organic things.
Right.
And so they test it out. They're able to stabilize the molecular structure and all that stuff, and are able to pass it through the portal and then have it come through the other side, and it's completely fine.
Yeah.
And so they talk they think. Well, like no, like at least the non-organic stuff, like the petri dish, like the cellular things.
Right. Oh yeah. Oh no, that was. Yes.
So like they contact the head of the university, and they have this whole press conference, and and one of the guys is like, is that gonna be safe? He's like, it will be soon, sometime soon, but right now we're still in the early trials.
Right. And there's like what, metal can't go through.
Yeah, metal can't go through.
But I guess things that are silicon based is what they're transferring, but things that are metal based they can't.
Yeah, so no fillings.
Right.
And which all the scientists said, like, look at my mouth, no fillings.
Yep.
And so they have this like nice celebration and all that stuff, and then they continue the trials. And so they're like, okay, we've been able to stabilize all these non-organic things and have it pass through fine. But like they're still trying to figure out the formula to be able to pass something that's biological.
Right. Well, because of course, so a time machine that you actually use is
It's not so bad because you could like throw a book in there
right
from the past, or like like here's a bomb, use this for
but, yeah.
to end the war.
Right.
You could do that, but it has to come with instructions. But no, yeah, no. Obviously, you want a person to be able to do it as well, and all that stuff. So, but they can't figure it out, and Nate kind of gets frustrated a little bit.
Yeah.
So he grabs, I don't know, Benjamin, just name it like Michael Jackson's mouse. And he's like, well, here, let me go ahead and do a little clickety-clack, clickety-clack. And they send it. The machine is like, oh, are you sure? And they're like, yep. And it stabilizes. But when it gets through, this thing implodes.
Yeah.
It is not great. And like one of the younger scientists, I think he's like the Doogie Howser of the team. He's like, oh no, Benjamin.
They actually call him Doogie a couple times.
Yeah. I think that's like that has to be your nickname when you're like a kid genius in a science world. Yeah. And so obviously they're super upset. They go to dinner, but there's not really anything to celebrate and all that stuff. But Nate is like, oh, you guys have to have room for dessert, right? And there's like this little awkward tension between all three of them.
Right.
But Nate's been drinking, and nothing ever is good when you're drinking.
Right.
But Nate's like,
but he's still got but you could tell he's always got his boys back because he's like, oh, Caitlin is getting a little friendly, and even though I've been drinking, I'm gonna go ahead and take off and
yeah. Well, I think
give you some space.
I think they've been dating at this point. Maybe. Well, I don't know. It's never really clarified, but I think it is. Just it's like again, very weird timeline situation.
Yeah.
But Nate's like, oh, you guys here. Here's your dessert. Have it. Talk it over. I should probably head home. But he like brought a bottle of like Jim Beam with him. I don't know if he brought it to the restaurant and took it home. But like, let's say we cut. Now we're gonna do another flashback, right? Flashback of them at school together.
Okay.
And Nate is like, oh yeah, Caitlin's hot. She's hot and nerdy. And like, she's like, Nate is in the middle. Ryan's to his left. Caitlin's on his right. And he's kind of laying it on. He's throwing out some game. He's like, how could you, something, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, he's so quiet. He's such a nerd sometimes, And then me, I'm just so devastatingly handsome. So it seems like Nate might have always had a crush on Caitlin.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Right? But, like, Caitlin is just hyper-focused on Ryan.
Right.
And as they're walking home, she's like, oh, wait, I forgot something back in class.
Yep.
So she goes back to the class, but she gets noticed by one of the bullies that's been bullying, Ryan the whole time.
Right.
Who later becomes a priest or a pastor and is like, this should not come to the hands of man. This is a realm that only the gods can have. And he's super creepy with Caitlin. He's like, oh yeah, where's my gift? I'm like, aren't you like 13? This is very red flags signs for... Yeah, and so...
He's a little pushy for...
A 14 or 13-year-old.
For any age.
Yeah, for any age. But, and so, like, what's it called? Ryan comes back, and, like, obviously Nate also is tagging along, and they sort of get into a scuffle until a teacher comes, and he's like, get out of here. Yeah. And so they're able to, like, they're able to go back on their way, but Caitlin went back to get a gift for Ryan because it was his birthday.
Right.
Now, it is this package that's, like, wrapped up in a string and all that stuff, and it's a gift. It's the necklace that she had gotten Ryan, that he was holding at the beginning of the movie, and it's like almost like a mood necklace. or something, because it
Yeah.
changes colors, and she's like, "I given it to you because it just."
To me it looks like the collar from Men in Black. Yeah,
Yeah,
the cat's collar.
But every time Ryan looks in it, he's seeing something like different.
Right.
I don't think Caitlin is seeing the same things that he is seeing.
Right, because he you kind of get the idea that he's got like a gift when he talks to the professor. When the professor's like, "Oh, you see him too." It's not like, "Oh, hey, people see these things around." It's like this very small select
Group of people,
and
can
maybe that's why he's trying to like still look at these troubled.
Yeah, troubled teens or something like that. Maybe it's just like also like just a program that he wish he had as a kid.
Oh, right.
You know, and because but like they have that whole situation. He gets the gift and all that stuff. Now let's travel back forward. Now let's say Ryan gets a call from Doogie, and he's like, "Oh, Doc, something's happening. There's somebody with a bomb at the facility, so you gotta."
Oh, right, yeah.
Help that. But like before he gets that call, he gets a knock on the door, and now it's the same box that he had gotten as a kid.
Right.
He opens it, but there's nothing in it. It's just dark.
Yeah.
So he goes, he runs to the lab, and then this is where we sort of get another cut. Because after he bypasses the police and all that stuff, because then Doogie's like, Caitlin's in there because she left a note. I'm gonna go set up the
lab.
Everything. Yeah,
because big day.
Because big day. And then he's going there to save her. And then we're going to cut again back to the past when they were kids. Now, Nate he's doing something else. Right? So they're walking home together. But Caitlin and Ryan go see this one alleyway. And Ryan's like, oh, we shouldn't go down that alleyway. Because there's like a huge alien pod in the middle of it.
Right, yeah. Why don't we walk through the park today?
Yeah, I don't know if Caitlin sees it or she just like wants to follow Ryan wherever.
You're
because it seems like she sees it too, right?
Yes,
but we never acknowledge if she does or not. So they go a different way, but then they get jumped by I don't want to say the passer, but he gets jumped by the bully.
Right, by the bully.
And again, just a group of like future sexual deviants.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's Biff and the thugs just messing with Marty McFly.
Oh, and this is probably even worse.
Yeah.
Than that, because they're like, yeah, hold her, and then the bully's like, oh yeah, you're gonna give me my gift. And I was like, bro, this is.
I'm gonna beat up your boyfriend, and then you're gonna give me my gift.
Jeez, and he like licks her cheek.
Yep.
And I was like, who okayed this? These are children. But Ryan gets up and he tries to beat up the bully, but he's getting pretty handled.
Oh, right,
and all of a sudden Nate comes with a 2x4 and clocks this kid. He's pretty much John Wicking this group of sexual deviants. Until the last one that's holding on to Caitlin, he's like, never mind. He just like leaves his friends.
It's the biggest, toughest one, and he's like, but the baby. He's like, oh yeah, I don't really want to. Fight.
He's the little John.
Yeah, yes.
He's the teddy bear of the group. He's the one that's been like manipulated into this friend group.
Yeah.
Maybe he has a bad home life, but he's like, I don't want to be violent anymore.
The tough kids think I'm cool because I'm large.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
Yeah. Exactly. And so Nate saves Ryan and Caitlin, but Caitlin again is just like, oh my God, Ryan, you're so brave. Completely just ignoring the heroics that Nate did.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm like, for some people, they'll be like, oh, finally someone who's like not swayed by the bad boy of science. It's so funny because like, what's it called? I know you like you don't probably League of Legends. You probably heard of it in passing. Recently, there's like
heard of it in passing.
I know you didn't play it.
Played League of Legends.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh. But like one of the biggest guys in there last year, I think back in 2023, he was coming back into the game after taking a year off, and he was like, "All roads lead to me." And I was like, "Oh, the bad boy of league." It's a cold line though for esports. He's like they call him. He's like probably one of the top dogs of esports and all this stuff. But I was like, oh, that's so cringy to me. It's like such an anime line.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Oh, but and then so we cut back to another period. It was after the dinner that Nate had left because he gets in a taxi cab and he's like, Miskatonic University.
Yep.
He goes into the thing. He goes into the lab, and Doogie's like, "Oh, Nate, what are you doing here? You know, I'm just, I'm blah blah blah." And he's like, "Doogie, get out of my way."
I made some final calculations, and I've solved our problem.
All right, clickety clack, clickety clack, and he gets into this chamber where the portal is in. Now, we do learn earlier that the portal is theoretic or should be able to withstand a nuke.
Right. Oh yeah, yeah. So
the dean.
Right. Yeah. The portal should be stable, but in the off chance that something metal or something that reacts with it goes through, then there could be a large explosion. So
Yeah.
it's built within a steel, titanium, I don't know, like
Some vibranium type of casing.
locking room, which is very cool. It's like
the danger room from X-Men.
Yeah, it was like the bay doors from Aliens.
Well, I was like thinking like the X-Men danger room because I was like it should be able to handle Cyclops's like percussion blast or whatever.
Yeah,
Optic blast.
Yes.
And so Nate gets in there. He was like, "Oh, well." Doogie calls the couple, and they rush.
Oh, right.
They rush, and Nate's like, "Don't worry, guys. Ryan's not the only genius in here." And I was like, "Oh, maybe there's been some sort of a secret animosity that Nate has been having, possibly."
Right.
I just learned about that.
You kind of get that because it's always like he always gets attention from the girl, and so whenever like the news is there, he always steps up like, "Let me be the face. Let me be the popular one."
Yeah, it's the what's it called, the Steve Jobs of the situation.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like, let me sell this, but I mean, people still because then like, okay, oh yeah, sorry, I did forget to say, oh no, I'll do that afterwards. I'll do this after that. But yeah, no. So Nate's like, don't worry, Ryan, I got this. He takes off his clothes, butt naked.
Yep.
A little pancake butt showing a little way. He was like, I'll see you guys in 10 seconds.
Right.
And he goes through the portal, and it says, like, stabilized.
Yeah.
And then it says, passing through in 5, 4. And then all of a sudden, the computer's like, not stabilized.
Error.
Yeah, and it is basically the elevator doors opening.
From
The Shining.
Yep.
It is pouring buckets and buckets of blood. Yeah. So they have to call the police.
Right. And while the machine's going, the safety protocols are good enough that when the machine is active, you can't open the blast doors.
Yeah.
And so they're like banging on the window with like a chair trying to get in, and it's just they just have to watch.
Yeah. Well, when he was banging on the window, I was like, bro, it's supposed to be able to withstand a nuke.
Right. You're not even the strong friend.
Yeah. Yeah. So the police are just like, it's messy, bro.
Right. Yeah.
And they kind of just like they have like this whole down moment, but they're like, we have to keep going, right? We do get a flashback though. We get a flashback of when Bill, their professor, had passed away, and they're at the funeral.
Mm-hmm.
And what's it called? Nate has this very passionate speech about the professor. He's like, I never had a dad, and I always looked at Bill like my dad.
Right. Yeah.
And all that stuff. And he walks away. Nice speech. All that stuff. But then Ryan is walking with the dean, and the dean's, or no, Ryan's walking with somebody. I forgot who it was.
With his mom.
With his mom, and she's like, "Oh, the the dean wants to talk to you or something. But then all of a sudden, Nate comes out of the corner in different clothes.
Yeah.
And he's like, Ryan, I got to talk to you, man. He's like, let me talk to the dean. He's like, no, I need. And then the mom kind of pulls Nate away.
Right.
And he's like, oh, beautiful speech, Nate. And then Ryan goes to talk to the dean. And he's like, well, what do you want to do with this? He's like, well, we want to continue the experiment, to live, to fulfill his wish.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, good, because Bill had old money.
Yeah, he had a sock full of money, and he didn't have any relatives, and basically his will was like, if they want to keep this experiment going, pay for it.
Here's that. Oh, yeah, that sock is huge. It's like a Scrooge McDuck sock. It's all crusty and filled with... Oh, man. And so they have to continue. They're like... Well,
right, yeah, because the dean's like, "What? This is a lot of money that we're going to get as the school. So yes, you should continue this project."
Not even just the school, possibly though, right? I mean, him too, Ryan, Caitlin, the whole team.
Right, because it's at that point, right? The timeline, like you said, it jumps a lot. I think it's at that point as they build the room.
Yeah,
because the room hadn't been built yet.
Yeah, it was getting there.
And they built the Stargate. Yeah, because it goes from this like small like portal.
Yeah, into like a huge like doorway.
Yeah,
and all that stuff. So yeah, so they end up still building it, and so let's go back into a flashback, right, where Ryan is pretty troubled. Now this is before he meets everybody. And he finds a photo of his mom, and the corner's like torn away, and you're like, what is that? And then all of a sudden, we get like a flashback in a flashback. It's him playing games with a little girl.
Right.
And you're like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Right? And the mother is like, hey, I gotta go. I'll see you guys in the morning. I guess she has like a night shift or something. And all of a sudden, they're watching. I think they're watching
Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, they're coming for you, Barbara. All of a sudden, this door's knocking. Someone's knocking at the door, and it's friggin' Nate.
Yep.
But he's adult Nate.
He's adult Nate, and this is they certainly don't recognize adult Nate.
Yeah.
Especially because he looks like a hobo.
Yeah. And he's like, he comes to Ryan like freaking Doc. And he's like, you gotta listen to me, Ryan. But he's like trying to hold back his little sister,
who is in full-on panic attack.
Yeah, because like she was watching Dawn of the Dead. Now this homeless person who was like at her window, is now banging us, and he's like covering her mouth. And I was like, I know where this is going.
Yeah.
And Ryan and Nate is like, you can't build it, Ryan. You'll get there. You'll get there, but you can't. I know what they are. I've been looking for you for 13 years, man. 13 whole years. And I'm finally here, and I gotta talk to you, and you can't build it. They're not surveyors like the professor said.
Right.
They're trying to prime our world for invasion.
Yep. Terraforming us.
Yeah, and if you do this and open this portal, you're gonna die. We're all gonna die, man.
Yep.
And Ryan is freaked out. He's frozen in terror from this homeless man that's holding his little sister, and then all of us
because he doesn't come in calmly and be like, okay, it's gonna be hard to understand, but I'm your friend from the future. Yeah. He's just like, I'm a crazy person. Don't build the machine that you don't know that you're gonna build yet.
Yeah. And and it's like I was like, as I was watching, I was trying to think, like, he could just tell him his name, but he hasn't met Nate yet.
Right.
And so as like he's doing this whole tirade, the little sister is like, arm falls, and now she died. She'd been asphyxiated.
Yeah.
And Nate is like he's freaked out. He didn't mean to do this.
Oh right.
She just totally yelling.
Yeah.
I was like, as he was doing it, I was like, dude, you gotta like not cover the nose too. But he's like so frantic, and I could understand him being frantic because he's
Right, and we don't know how much time he has. Maybe he's only got a minute to get this message across.
yeah, because while he's holding on to the little sister, his body starts to like distort, like in across the universe
Yeah.
when you're in a different dimension, right? Yeah, and so he's frantically trying to tell Ryan because he's finally been able to get a hold of him, and she dies, and Ryan takes this chance. Well, not I don't want to say chance, but like he takes this time to like run up to get the gun.
Right.
And Nate is like, oh, dude, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to. But Ryan ends up shooting Nate.
Yeah.
And then he's like, it's cool, man. Don't worry. It's just I'll always be right here for you, bro. And
Which is something, as kids, every time he stuck up for him, he was like, don't worry, I'll always be here for you, bro.
yeah, I got
But
your
again,
back.
like you said,
He doesn't
at
know
this
him.
point, he doesn't know him.
Yeah, and then by the time he meets Nate, it's something that he's blocked
Right.
from his memory. Because then, like, let's say, like, after that, he's talking to a therapist and all this stuff. The mother, first we see the mother talking to a therapist, like, well, it's like he doesn't want to acknowledge the things that happened.
Right.
And, like, I'm doing this a little backwards because you get the therapy thing first, and then you get the reveal that he had a sister and all that stuff. But it's just
because he looks at the picture and he just sees him, his mom, and his dad.
Yeah.
And
And it's just like a ripped up portion of the edge or something.
Yeah, and it's just like he's just like they're gone. It's just so lonely, and you're like, oh, you're thinking, oh, Dad got in a car accident.
Yeah.
Or got.
Well, he did. I think he did get in a car accident, right?
Yeah.
That's what they say. And then, like, let's say, like, during this whole time, this whole thing, the little sister fades into the photos that he was like missing, and that's like the traumatic events that he was having. But then it's also because of these lurkers from a different dimension that he had been seeing, and it sort of shaped him almost to do this, because during Nate's like frantic thing, he's like, they've been invading your mind and your subconscious to lead you to do this.
Yeah.
And then we see a little flashback of him opening those boxes that he had gotten, and this invisible entity like sucking his eyes out or something, or planting something
implanting, or either implanting or removing memories,
or like inceptioning him.
Yes. Yep.
And all that stuff, and you're like, what is going on? But we cut back to the future. We cut back to the most, probably, I guess, the ending of the movie though. But he bypasses all the security guards and gets to the lab, which you could only get in if you have the clearance,
right,
and all that stuff. And then when he finally goes into the chamber room, or like into the lab where the chamber is at, he sees Caitlin is being held up by the bully.
Right, who is now a priest.
Who's now, I think, pastor. I don't know.
Whatever he is. He is.
He's supposed to be a holy man.
Very religious. He is like, God gave us domain over the earth, but he did not give us domain over time and space.
Yeah.
And we are not God, so we cannot manipulate those things.
And yet he's like, God picked me to be the messenger.
Yes, yeah.
The was a hypocrisy of it all, right?
Right.
But he is holding up Caitlin with a gun, and he has bombs strapped to him by duct tape.
Yep.
Which, would have been really funny. It was like when he exploded himself, the duct tape contained the explosion.
Because like an implosion.
Yeah.
Duct tape is powerful.
But again, he's like holding her from behind and licks her cheek again. And I was like, bullies either become cops or holy men. It's the influence that they're after, right? Yeah. The power.
Right.
Such a perversion of these professions, that are supposed to serve the people.
Right.
But he starts to frantically kind of go like all over the place. He's like walking around. He's like, God chose me. He chose me to deliver this message. I am Moses, and this is my burning bush.
Yeah. He is adamant and very, very believing in himself and his newfound purpose.
Yeah, he's like, I am Abraham, and these are my sons. You know what Abraham is, right?
Yeah.
And he's freaking out. I guess maybe he made Caitlin start the machine or something before they got into the chamber, because the portal starts to open up.
Right.
And
well, she has like a pad and she starts it in, and I felt like she was like, if I can start it and then suck him in, then it'll give me 10 seconds to make a plan to escape, and most likely he won't come out of it alive.
Or yeah, maybe that was his plan, is to hop into this thing, blow it up from the inside. Something, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, we don't get any explanation if, like, she's the one that started it up, or maybe he did, because he was clackling all over the computers.
Right.
I don't know. But he's, like, standing in front of this portal, and Caitlin is looking at Ryan, and all of a sudden the explosion goes off.
Yep.
Ryan opens the chamber, and Caitlin is, I guess they couldn't afford the practical effects of a burn victim, because she's not burnt after an explosion like that.
Yeah.
Depending on also what kind of explosives he had. I don't know if he had direct access to C4. But I'll, like, when he opens it, the portal is wide open at this point.
Right.
And now the things, like, let's say now the camera hits into the portal.
Yeah.
And this is actually the first shot of the movie, I believe. But it goes, it's like showing us something from space, and it's zooming into something that looks like a huge, not biology, but almost an organic looking spaceship.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
And it it zooms all the way into there. That's probably the captain of the ship. It's all gross looking. It's like that planet from the third Guardians of the Galaxy movie, where everything was like, I don't know.
So it's
a pimple.
If you, I have been looking into like Cthulhu and like that the H.P. Lovecraft stuff. It does not look like Cthulhu.
Yeah.
But it looks like some of the other cosmic horror beings.
Yeah. It's tentacly, it's slimy.
Right, and like there's like things, like these creatures are just kind of like molting out of it.
Yeah, it is. I don't know why it's always like that. It's why is it always so slimy? But these things are looking at our world now.
Right, and they're like, okay, now the portal is open. We can
come and invade.
Yep.
And Ryan is trying to think about what to do, but I think he has a plan, because instead of trying to close the portal, he goes into the portal.
Right.
And I think the ending is saying that he's gonna try to jump through time to try to stop himself from doing it. Right.
Right.
Because the movie kind of just he jumps into it, and doesn't he land somewhere? I forgot where he lands. Because then he jumps into another portal, and it kind of just, what was it called?
Yes.
He ends quantum leap style.
Yeah.
And that's how this movie ends.
Yeah.
Before we get into talk about our personal views on this movie, we gotta do our other thing where we do the high star and the low stars.
So we got a 10 out of 10. Awesome film. This is an incredible film. It has everything with an extremely thought-provoking plot. Definitely keeps your attention for the entire time. Very talented filmmakers, and casting is amazing. The actors are gifted and profoundly talented as well. I kind of wait to watch it again, and I have already seen it twice.
Glutton for punishment. No, I was kidding. We have 1 out of 10. Absolute clown fiesta. He went Spanish on that one. Oh, no. She went Spanish on that one.
That is going to be my my new phrase. Whenever a movie's bad, I'm like, this is a total clown fiesta.
Are they gonna be like, like if you're like on a show site and it's just going bad? Just oh, clown fiesta.
Oh yes.
This is the worst movie I've ever seen. Insanely boring and predictable. Every character is a cardboard cutout, caricature. Sound effects are annoying and overbearing. Every voice line is poorly dubbed. The whole time I was struggling to accept that this is a real film and not a parody. If you want a so bad it's good movie, you're better off watching Neil Breen. I don't know that one. If you want a good cosmic horror, watch The Void, Black Mountainside, or Borderlands. Yeah, all three are pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. If you want to feel the sands of time slowly get everywhere and chip away at your soul, watch Intersect. It's fair.
That's harsh.
It's pretty harsh, but I can see when you compare it to those three other movies, I can see why.
Okay.
Why the harshness is there. Like here, I think you're more you liked it more, so I want to defer to you first.
Yes, I did. I did enjoy the movie. I thought it had a great concept. The acting was good. I actually felt like the kids acted better than the adults.
Yeah.
But no, I liked the story idea. I did, as we talked about it, my brain asked more questions than it did. It seemed pretty straightforward when it ended. I was like, okay, that all makes sense. Got it. And then as we were talking, I was like, oh, does this happen? Does that happen? Like, why did this happen? Now I feel like I need to watch it again. I only watched it once. Yeah, I know. I thought it was showed like the madness, but now I don't think that anymore. Like that's how I felt. Was like this was that kind of like cosmic horror working its magic on your brain, trying to make you go insane to get what it wants from you. But I have a different idea now that may not pan out, but because I haven't really thought about it except for 15 seconds. But I'll let you tell me how you feel about the movie first, and then we'll go into.
Well, I like the idea. Like I always like the idea of any movie. I can the premise. I think the premise is pretty fair. I just think you're gonna need a stronger writer if you're gonna make the whole story a little discombobulated, right? Because it's like you said, Memento, excellent movie, super confusing,
right?
But like when it comes to the end, you're like, oh, now it makes so much more sense.
It gels better than this did, yeah.
Like and this is sort of, it's trying to tell a story that like Tenet level. Did you watch Tenet?
Yeah.
Super confusing as well.
Yeah.
You're like, what is going on? And even at the end, you're like, I don't know.
That's another one. I was like, after I watched it, I was like, I need to watch this again, and I haven't. So now I'll have to watch it 2 more times.
But like and even that had what was it, Christopher Nolan?
Yeah,
that's like the director. I don't know if he's the writer or whatever. But even that, but you can kind of like get away with it because it's like it's Christopher Nolan. It's like he always makes movies like this, and you have that. And for this to be like, I don't know if this is the first movie that they did, but indie film. And then I was like, I hate, because this came out in 2020. The CG really bothered me.
It did feel like it came out in like 2012.
2008.
2008. Yes.
Yeah.
And they didn't use a whole lot of it, so I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And the CG for the portal was fine. Yeah. But when they showed the little stocky creatures, it was a little Sci-Fi Channel
Well, see, because I actually
asylum film kind of CG.
I like the formation of the portal happening, but when the portal was there, that's where it kind of showed the budget.
Okay.
Of it all.
I got you.
Yeah. I think if they had kept it sort of in the formation stage, then I was like, oh, that's like pretty good CG. I think that's what it was. I also just like the story structure was kind of like it was like for me a hot mess. I think if they had used the kids' portions as flashbacks, like talking, like it's more of like I would say it's probably more of a mundane way of telling the story. It's more of the basic bitch route.
Right. Okay, so I like Sumoko said, my new hypothesis. We weren't watching flashbacks. This was set up much more like the butterfly effect.
Mm.
And each time we saw something, it was a change in time.
See, like the way I saw it was like the things that were like in the thing, the little lurkers and stuff like that were sort of explanations for his being like him getting to that point. With like with Nate accidentally killing his sister,
Right.
and him like having to meet Bill because Bill had noticing the lurking creatures, and so that's where I came at with that whole conclusion.
Yeah.
Because I thought like the what's it called, because then like we spent like the last almost like 40 minutes of it just in the kids version
Right.
of the whole thing, and that's where I was like, what's going on? Maybe I would have felt better if they had reordered this and we had the kids version at the beginning and then splicing the adults in and then sort of going in a more chronological order after that. It was just it felt all over the place without being all over the place.
Right.
Yeah, you know where I'm coming from?
I do. And it's, yeah, I think this is this director's first
like
full movie.
Oh yeah.
And like I feel like that's just a unfortunate something that he'll like in future movies be able to correct that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like and there was so much unexplained, which is like, I mean, like I kind of like a movie where you
don't spoon feed.
Yeah, but all of a sudden I'm like, as we're talking, I'm like, yes, I do think that the girl and his friend
Nate
could see the things.
The things, right?
And that's why they were such a good group or such a tight-knit group, because they could see something that nobody else could see. Well, maybe the professor could. But there's like this weird point at one of the flashbacks where the little box, it's like this reoccurring box of badness.
Yeah.
And that's where the present comes from.
Yeah.
It's on the professor's desk in one of the scenes.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it made me think.
Oh, it's been controlling the professor the whole time?
Yes.
Right?
It was controlling the professor, and then the professor gave the box to the girl to control the girl, to give the box to him to control him.
Yeah.
And then it just never got to Nate because she didn't like him as much. You know, she was like,
Nate's the bad boy of the science world. He's the Roddy Piper.
But maybe something had gotten to him. But it was also like they didn't really explain the necklace and it was like at the end it was just like it was crushed.
Yeah.
And it made me, it's that weird, maybe just because I've just seen so many things that I'm trying to like make sense of what's not making sense. Like the final episode of Star Trek Next Generation.
Oh.
They're trying to fight, they're trying to figure out a way to stop this vortex that's going to, whatever.
Collapse the universe.
And they keep trying to do stuff to stop it in the future.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the episode, you find out, this came out 20 years ago. It's no spoilers, guys. You find out by the end that it runs backwards in time.
Oh.
And so the more stuff they try to do to stop it, it's actually making it worse as it goes back in time, and now they've done enough stuff to it that they have to worry about it,
in the future,
in the far past,
oh.
like being destructive enough that it keeps humanity from like crawling out of the primordial ooze, like that kind of.
Yeah.
And then I was like, so maybe on this, if you have like a Cthulhu kind of being that's not tethered to time and space,
mm-hmm.
is this its story running forwards, even though we see it running backwards, and that's why every single scene is a flashback a little bit farther back.
Mm.
And it's two stories, because even like with the adults, every scene you see is slightly earlier in time.
Yeah, and see, that's great. Like that all sounds awesome to me. But also, I have to reiterate, you have to have a stronger writer to be able to pull that off.
But
Yeah. But again, like I was gonna say, when you said that this is the director's first movie, and I was gonna be like Asian parent, like, what else was a classic at this point? That's someone's first movie, Evil Dead.
Yep.
Tell that to Sam Raimi.
Yep.
No, but I mean, it's also, I have to say, it is a very ambitious project for a first one.
Oh, right. For anybody, I feel like this is unless you've got a really seasoned writer director combo and a significant budget, I feel like this is a movie that would be hard to tackle.
Yeah. Oh, but like as far as like the budget stuff, I feel like there's a decent amount. Like, you don't have to have so much CG. I think that like you don't have to keep showing the portal opening. Like, I already know it opens.
Right.
Yeah.
That was another thing, is if only the three of them and then the professor could see these blobby entities from this other dimension.
Yeah.
When the portal opens, does everybody else see it? Or is it just like, hey, here's a portal and we're going to throw something in and it disappears and it appears on the other side?
I think the explosion is what helped it sort of have those things be able to see for us.
But like every time they have like the newscasts come and everything, you see the like smoky opening.
I think they see the smoke.
Do they see that, or is it only the main characters?
I think they see it, but I think at the end is when it was finally like able. So like it's like a one-way door or like a one-way mirror. Right. So before the explosion, you could only see the black. Like,
no. Oh, right.
That's what I'm.
Yes. Yeah.
But I think after the explosion, and maybe that's when like this cosmic entity's master plan is finally fruition, that now you're able to come to this side. It's like a barrier, like
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Now they're finally able to crawl in and start, I don't know, infecting or invading. Yeah. Everything. But and I was just like, I love lore so much that I felt like I needed just a little bit more, like, lore.
Right.
Maybe it doesn't have to be anything super extensive, like you said, you don't have to spoon feed it to me.
Right.
But just like a little bit, because it was cool that like the professor also saw these things.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, maybe if he kind of expositioned up a little bit more, like, oh yeah, and then these other scientists from all of time, there's like journals of these mad scientists drawing photos of, it doesn't have to be like a full photo, but like maybe it's like a shadowy figure.
Right. And they could have all been working on some version of the portal.
Yeah.
And then it's finding scientists, and it only appears to the ones who thinks it can make the portal, and eventually it's gotten to this point where it's got the three together who are
able to finish this portal. I think that would have been really cool. Like, you pull up like, oh yeah, Einstein,
right?
Oppenheimer. They had seen
They mentioned some books,
yeah, H.G. Wells
and
with
then
Time Machine.
and then one previous to that, also when they're like walking down the street, they're talking about.
Oh God, I forgot. I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
But so maybe that was their very not straightforward attempt to be like these people were the first ones to kind of like
document it.
Yeah.
See, like, and like that's like fine in passing, but like, you know, spoon feed that. Yeah.
Right, a little bit more.
Yeah, just because, you know, I used to be like the kid that used to read video game manuals on the toilet. You got to give us just a tiny bit more lore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could see where the person was coming from on the 1 out of 10, and I can also see the 10 out of 10 because you know everyone kind of just wants any kind of cosmic stuff.
So, yeah, this was a little long and it was a little stretched out in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
They could have condensed this at least 15 minutes and made it more cohesive, and even if they didn't rearrange too much, there's some parts that drag a little.
Yeah. A tight 140 would have been good.
I've seen lots of bad movies. This is nowhere near the bottom. Like,
yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, House Shark. That's at the bottom.
Like, I feel like if you saw this movie and you gave it a 1, it's because you
haven't seen House Shark.
You auditioned for it and didn't get a role. But then again, like the 10
is a little high.
That like I feel like you're like a nephew of somebody who was on the cast, and you're like, yeah, oh my God, my cousin was in this movie, 10 out of 10.
Either that, or you're just like starting to dip your toe into like sci-fi stuff, you know. But
or you
genuinely did
you
like
read
it.
some Lovecraft short story that really filled in some blanks for that, because we've done that where we've talked about a movie and I was like, hey, because I read this or I know the background story on this, this movie was fantastic. And you're like, I didn't know it. And so it didn't make sense to me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. But yeah, we're coming up to our hour. I want to thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to check out all of our other months. We have a bunch out there for you. We have holiday theme months for Christmas and Halloween. We have actor-specific months with Nick Cage and Rosario Dawson and Danny Trejo. We have oddball months out there as well, like in space.
Yeah, we did the comet was passing by, so we did space debris month.
Yeah, so
we try to make them relevant.
Yeah, we have a bunch out there for you. But if this is the first time you guys are joining us, we do reviews in 4 different sections. We have Stream It, DVD, Blu-ray, and Ultimate Box Collection. Colby, where are you at for this?
So, I actually have to go Blu-ray.
Oh.
Because 6 hours of extras.
Oh my God.
on the Blu-ray release. They have interviews with everybody. They have because it was a low budget movie, they have like a whole like building of and how they make the doors work with like people crawling, like pushing the doors and stuff behind the scene. They have a whole biodoc on like building the thing.
There's a whole documentary on this.
I feel like you would probably also get a something on more of an explanation.
Yeah, if they have like lore on the creatures or the being or the entity, that'd be great, because one of my favorite things about the 13 Ghosts DVD was that it had things on, it had profiles
on all the ghosts.
Yeah, and I'm was cool.
Yeah,
because you like in the movie you're like, oh, those are cool, but you don't really get a backstory.
Right.
But then when
you're like, this needs to be a TV show, and I need an episode on each ghost.
Oh my! Don't start. Because Netflix could do that right now. 13 Ghosts, 13 episodes. Let's go, baby.
Yep.
You know, this. I think the saddest one is probably going to be the plastic surgery trick, because that's the one that's most like relevant.
Yeah.
Right. Oh man, I was gonna say stream it, but with 6 hours of Blu-ray extras and the biodoc and the possibility on like lore on these entities and possible lore that they on entities they might have used, I think that's kind of worth it. I think that's what's really selling that
And I
Blu-ray.
guess there's a half hour little thing of 10-year, because they released it on their 10-year anniversary. They released the Blu-ray.
Okay, it's been 10 years. This came out.
I guess it was 10 years from when it got originally filmed.
Oh wait, well, this movie filmed 2010,
and then it got released because
2020,
because they were all talking about, they had a like a half hour thing with interviews of all the stars from it 10 years later.
Oh, wow. Okay, now this movie makes a lot more sense. Now I can kind of give it a little bit more leeway.
You were right. That didn't click in my head. But yes, if this was all 2013 actually filmed before it actually kind of...
Yeah, now that gives it a little bit more leeway with the CG and all that stuff. But no, I want to thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to check out links down below where we have our
all of our social medias, our Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, YouTube. We're all over the place, and we want you to follow us on all of them.
Yeah.
But at least pick one. But yeah, send us a message. That's the way to hit us up.
Yeah.
Say hi.
But thank you guys for joining us. My name is Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. If you guys want to check it out as a theme music, it is Lee Rosevere. It's called Arcade Montage. It's on our album Music Podcast 3, and the Bandcamp is down below.
Thank